Hello and welcome. My name is Amanda and this is my channel, Her Pacific Northwest Washington Life. And today I think we're kicking off week 31 nope, the week 30 reading vlog. So this week, I guess at the end of last week I had one book to carry over. There was a book I hadn't finished, but I expected to finish it Sunday night, and I did, and that was After the Fog by Kathleen Shoup. I flew through the last couple of chapters, last couple of pages pretty quickly, and I really enjoyed the ending. If you know my reading style, you know I like when things are wrapped up nice and neat and have a good ending. I don't like when things are left open to interpretation. My brain just does not like that. So this had a very kind of like Hallmark ending feeling, and I really enjoyed that. But I will say the last section of the book, the timing, like the timeline of it, because we follow the 5 days of the smog. We follow a couple days leading up to the actual 5 days where the smog was so bad that it was killing people. And then afterwards we follow a couple days after, and a lot more than just the 20 initial people died from the smog. I think there were 50 the following like day or two, and I want to say something like 7,000. It's either 3,000 or 7,000 relocated to North Carolina, either permanently or for a bit in order to kind of get back into better health and things like that while they were figuring out what to do with the mills. So the ending was okay. Our main character Rose went into just a deep dive of depression with everything that had happened and the outcome and consequences of secrets being kept amongst family members, with people not communicating well. But it was interesting. It was a couple months that had gone by, so the pacing felt like it was a little rushed, more or less, but at the same time it makes sense because you don't just fall into depression and then come back out all fine and dandy the next day. So you could tell that a lot of time had gone through and Rose was just struggling, and the effort that she put into actually coming out of that and things like that. So overall, I really enjoyed the book. I really enjoyed the buddy read. Rainey finished it this morning, and she did as well. She didn't tell me what her star rating was, but I also didn't tell her what mine was. We were just talking about the ending a little bit. And we're really looking forward to reading the next book, which these are, so the series itself is called the Denora Story Collection, and I don't think they're companion novels, but they take place in the town of Denora. So The Strong Man and the Mermaid is the book that made me look into After the Fog to begin with, because I saw it on a BookBub deal and I really liked the cover, so I was like, oh, I want to look into that, and I ended up picking it up. And this one follows, I think it's 1910 for both years, but we follow kind of dual locations. So we follow, I think Poland, that might be wrong, and Denora in 1910, which After the Fog took place in the late 1940s. It was 1948 and 1949, and it is in Poland. So it'll be interesting to see how that pulls together. I don't know if maybe the main characters in this story are in some way related to the characters in After the Fog, or if there's even going to be overlap, or if the common theme is just the town of Denora. But I am really looking forward to that. I definitely won't be able to get to it in August because of sitting the NEWT's Magical Readathon, but maybe September Rainey will be ready to pick that up with me. Speaking of those, I am going to be filming my TBR video today to go up this Thursday. So after I'm done filming, since I'll have everything set up and all my books pulled out, I will really quickly give you an overview of the books that I plan to read. And that way, if you don't want to watch my TBR video, you don't have to. The one book I had carry over from last week is Pacifica by Kristen Simmons. I don't have the cover on this, but it's got a really pretty like blue foiling on the spine and stuff. This book, I think I was at the end of chapter 9 when I started this morning, and I've been listening to it, excuse me, all day, and I have 2.5 hours left in my audiobook, so I'm right here. I should finish this up today, and then we'll see what I decide to pick up next. So gonna get back to it, and I'll check in here in a little bit. Alright, I'm waiting for Skylar to get in. He's out on the porch right now. So I haven't filmed my newts video yet because I'm waiting for him to get settled at the computer so that we don't hear the, screen door opening and closing and the dogs click-clacking everywhere. So I care less about that background noise in a vlog than I do like just a regular video. So I'm going to go through really quickly with you, in case you're not interested in watching the full video, of what I have planned to read for the newts. So I'm going for Alchemist, and that's what I sat my OWLs for. And for the NEWTs, I have to read 17 different prompts. So those prompts are, I have to get an A in Ancient Runes, which is to read a book with an author whose name starts with B. So I'm going to read Red Rising by Pierce Brown. The Exceeds Expectations for Ancient Runes is to read a classic, so I'm going to read Beowulf. Then the Outstanding for Ancient Runes is to read a romance, and I have planned to read Alex Approximately. The A for Arithmancy is to read a nonfiction. I'm going to read Kitchen Confidential by Anthony Bourdain. The E for Arithmancy is to read a book that ends on an uneven number, and I'm reading Then She Was Gone. I don't know who the author is. This is a thriller that I'm going to buddy read with my friend Eric at Breakeven Books. Then the O for Arithmancy is to read a book between 260 to 299 pages, and for that one I have The Sea of Monsters by Rick Riordan, which is the second book, and the Percy Jackson and the Olympian series. Then for astronomy, the A for that is to read a book with star in the title or on the cover, and I'm reading Zenith by Sasha Alsberg and Lindsay Cummings. It's got galaxy stuff here, so the stars are really small, but they're there. And then the E for astronomy is to read a sci-fi. So Nexus is the second book in the Andromeda saga, so it follows Zenith. Then we move on to herbology, so the A for that is to read a book with flowers on the cover, and for that I'm reading volume 6 of Vampire Nights, which has roses. That will be a very, very quick one evening read. Then the E for herbology is to read a book you think will be impactful, and for that I have Sarah's Key by Tatiana de Rosny. This has been on my shelf for I don't even know how long, so I'm finally gonna get to it. Should be good. I have the library book borrowed right now from the audio book from the library borrowed right now, so I will have that to listen to. Oh my goodness. Then we get to the O for herbology, which is to read a book that's longer than the last book you read. For this, I have planned to read, I think, Percy Jackson and the Lightning Thief, which I'm going to have to strategically plan this out, but I think this should work. It should be longer than the last book I read, but we'll see with how I've got everything planned. If we go based off my last physical book, it definitely will be. If we go based off of audiobook, though, I'm not sure with how I have it in the lineup right now, so we'll see. So then potions, the A is to read a book with sky in the title or on the cover. How can you have sky on? I guess you can have sky on the cover. That's dumb. And I'm going to read Sky in the Deep by Adrienne Young. Then the E for potions is to read an author whose name starts with D, and for that I've got Matilda by Roald Dahl. Then the O for potions is a book over 450 pages, and I'm planning to listen to the audiobook of Emma, but this one is definitely over 450 pages. Then we come to the A in Transfiguration, and this is to read a book with an animal. It's specifically a bunny, but it can be any animal in the title or on the cover. And for this, I'm going to read an anthology, which is called Beware the Little White Rabbit. Then the E for Transfiguration is to read a book with dragon or fire in the title or on the cover. And for that, I'm going to read one of Maddie's books, which is How to Train Your Dragon by Krista Cowell. And this is the first book in the How to Train Your Dragon series. And then last prompt is the O for Transfiguration, which is to read a hardcover. And I am going to read The Wicked Deep by Shay Earnshaw, finally. So that's my reading plans. Now that Skylar is all settled, I'm going to film the official Newt's TBR video. So I'm going to go do that now. Today is going to be an incredibly busy day. I'm working right now. I'm just taking a quick break, and in about an hour I need to leave and take Aoife to the vet. We've been monitoring this growth on her lip for the past 2 weeks, and I think on Friday Skylar noticed that it had flowered or like split opened up, and we were looking, well, he started looking at what it could be online, and we think it's the canine version of the papillomavirus. She's only got one growth, so it should be okay. I'm pretty sure they can just treat it with an antibiotic steroidy thing. I don't think it's a steroid, but like an antibiotic cream. It shouldn't need to be like surgically removed or anything like that, and apparently it's really common in young dogs. But I called yesterday morning, which was Monday morning, and they were booked out weeks in advance, so they were going to put me on a wait or like a call list if somebody canceled an appointment. But then I wanted to get an appointment on the books just in case I didn't get a call in the next week or two. And she found that there was a cancellation for 8:30 Tuesday, which is today. So I said, yes, I need that. Sign me up. So I'm going to take Aoife in to get that looked at. And then I'm going to come back and work. Then at 12:45, I have a call with my student mentor. And then I'll work the rest of the day until my normal quitting time, and then I have a violin lesson. So busy all around. But I do have a quick reading update. I finished Pacifica last night, and I don't think I ever told you what this is about, but I think it's really interesting. There's an author's note at the beginning, and I'm going to read the first 2 paragraphs to you, which will give kind of an idea of what this story is on more of a deep level than just the synopsis. So Kristen Simmons said, "This story is personal, not just because the characters have lived so long in my mind, but because their world is rooted in my history. Their adventures are framed by my interpretation of the stories passed down to me through the generations. In that way, Pacifica does not begin with an exiled pirate girl, a relocated shoreling, and the son of the president, but with my great-grandmother. This is a story that begins in World War II, and like Marin, Ross, and Adam's story, it's about relocation, only then it was called internment." So what happens in Pacifica is that the world is there was this big natural disaster, basically like global warming finally hit. Temperatures of the seas have risen. A lot of the land is unusable. The sun is just super, super hot. And the land that is available to use is shrinking, obviously, with overpopulation and just with things being not okay with the land anymore. So the president has this relocation program, and 500 lucky lottery winners will get to relocate to this new, green, lush, beautiful island called Pacifica. We follow our main character, Marin, who knows that there's something off with this because she is the daughter of a pirate, and she has sailed the seas before, and she knows that there's no island out there in the world, so she's really wondering where these people are going. She has a run-in with the president's son and his friend during some riots where people are protesting being picked in the lottery because they don't feel like they're winning anything by going to this land. They're just being made to relocate. So things happen. The president's friend gets taken, basically, and he partners with Marin to try and find him. So that's, I guess, the gist of it. I am giving this a 2-star rating. I wanted to give it a shot, but I knew that it probably wasn't going to be a story that I liked too much. I don't know. I breezed through it really quickly. The characters were okay. The setting was interesting. If you like that kind of dystopian world sort of thing. But other than that, the plot was, it was kind of, I guess, a little predictable. So it was just all right. I am definitely going to be unhauling this book. So there's that. I also started last night reading Immortal Reign by Morgan Rhodes, which is the 6th book in the Fallen Kingdom series. The last book I need to read before finishing off that series. I only got through the prologue and the first chapter, so I didn't get very far, but I will definitely be reading a lot more of that today. And then this morning I also started the audiobook for Circe by Madeline Miller, which is the monthly book club pick for the B&P, or the Books and Planners book club, which is a book club obviously on Facebook, run and hosted by my friend Darshell over at the channel Books and Planners. So I'm really excited to listen to this. I listened to The Song of Achilles, I think it was last year, and really enjoyed the storytelling and just that story in general. So I'm excited to see what Circe is like. I'm in chapter 2 right now, and obviously with driving to my violin lesson, I'm going to get a lot of reading time in. So really looking forward to that. I might, after this, put in a quick clip of Aoife's lip for those of you that want to see what it looks like. If you don't, just skip like 10 seconds ahead and it'll just be really, really quick. I'll not have it up for very long, but I'll show you guys. And then if I have any updates when I get home from my lesson, I will jump on and let you know. So that's the little growth that's on Aoife's mouth. Good morning. I have a couple things to chat about, so this update might be a little lengthy. For those of you concerned about little Aoife girl, or want to know what's going on with her, she's perfectly fine. It is what we thought it was, the doggy version of HPV. And she doesn't need any sort of cream or ointment to get rid of it. The vet just said to monitor it, and if it doesn't go away in the next 3 months, to schedule an appointment and she'll just remove it. So we're gonna watch that. She eats with a slow feeder bowl because she scarfs down her food really fast, and then she'll try and, not she'll try, she will go over to Ronan's bowl and eat his food, and he'll just let her. So I've switched her over to a regular bowl just so she doesn't have the pillars to knock that against. Basically, we just have to try our best to keep it from getting too irritated, because if it's irritated, it won't go down. The only issue is she's a pretty mouthy player, and because it's not bothering her, and the vet says it's pretty common for them to not bother dogs, there's not really a way to keep her and Ronan from playing, and she likes to bite because she's a herding dog, so she nips a lot. So we'll just have to, I guess, monitor their playing a little bit to keep an eye on it and to make sure they're not getting too rowdy and it doesn't affect the area too much. Exciting update is I don't really talk about like my birthday or anything on this channel, but my birthday is in a week. It's next Thursday, same day as Neville Longbottom's, though different year. So I have a week and a year left of my 30s, and then next year I'll be 30. So I'm looking forward to it. We don't have anything planned really. It's probably just going to be a family day. We'll barbecue with my parents and brother, and Maddie will be here with us, so that'll be really nice. Hopefully it's a nice day so we can just sit out on their back patio and enjoy the sunshine and stuff. But yeah, not a lot going on right now, which I don't typically plan things for my birthday anyway. I think there was something I wanted to do, but not, I don't remember what it was. It might have just been like laser tag or something. So yeah, we'll just be celebrating low-key at home. What else? Last night we were watching Westworld. I can't remember if I've talked about Westworld on my channel, but we're in season 2. I think we have one episode left of season 2. Then we'll be on to season 3, which I think just finished. I know you can either buy or pre-order season 3 on like Blu-ray, which that's how we're watching it, is on Blu-ray, so we'll probably wait for the season to be out before we get back into watching it. But while we were doing that, I saw a post in a Simply Gilded Facebook group. I think it's the official Facebook group. And saw somebody asking how people swatch their washi tapes. And I was like, I want to swatch my washi tapes. So I decided to print and cut some like dot grid paper and started swatching my washi tapes. So this is what they all look like. Right now it's all one-sided because I figure if I get, if there's like a re-release of a collection or there's additional rolls that go along with the collection, I can put those on the back. Or if I do like a version 2, if I'm running out of the version 1 or whatever I'm on, then I can go to the back, and then I can start using the back too if I don't end up going that direction and just want to save paper. Sorry, so I've got a couple more pages left to do, which is just a fun thing that started keeping me busy yesterday evening while we were watching Westworld. Other than that, I did read quite a bit in Immortal Reign yesterday. I am almost halfway. I wanted to be done with this by tomorrow night if possible, because in the Harry Potter and the Order of the Planners Flourish and Blot club on Facebook, they're doing a Chosen One readathon, which starts Saturday the 25th and goes through to, what is it, Friday? Saturday? Friday. Friday the 31st. So the last 7 days of the month. And I have a different TBR set for that I want to read. So Sorry, I am going to try and finish up Immortal Rain. It's going all right. It's intriguing enough, but something that she likes to recycle is we're told a character is dead and then find out that they're not, and as they're on their way to go meet the people they want to be with, the people, like the next chapter, we find that they've left the location and they're heading somewhere else, and then the next chapter will be that character that died that didn't die arrives at the location they were previously, and they're like, where did they go? And then they have to go meet them at the other location. It's just like, okay, it's been redundant, a redundant thing that the author does for 5 books now, but whatever. I'm still finishing the series. It'll be, I'm so sorry, so interesting to see how it ends, especially with how the last book ended and the things that are taking place. It'll be interesting to see what happens with these characters. So really looking forward to that and having another series finish, which will actually be my 6th series of the year that I had been reading prior to 2020 starting, which means I'm going to accomplish my goal, which was to read 6 of the 12 ongoing series that I had. So really excited to check that one off the list and see if I can finish any more series before the year ends, and hopefully not start too many more series, but we'll see with that one. I've also been listening to Circe, which reminds me I need to check in on the Books and Planners book club on Facebook, because I know chapter 7 through 13 was a section that people were commenting on, and I just finished chapter 13 last night. So before I jump into chapter 14, I want to read through people's thoughts and comments and things like that. I think the story is really intriguing. I don't know much about Circe as a Greek mythological being, but I'm liking the story. The one thing that's throwing me off a little bit is the timeline, because Circe and the Titans and Olympians and all of that are immortals. It feels like it's jumping around a lot, and the timeline just feels really off, but it's just kind of something I have to reset in my brain as I'm reading to know, like, yeah, 50 years have gone by and it's no big deal because they have an indefinite life, basically. So I think I think I'll be able to finish this by tomorrow as well, I think. I don't know how many hours I have left. I'm going to check that really quickly. I've got 6.5 hours. I could finish this today. So yeah, it'll be really interesting to see how that goes as well. And then I guess Saturday I'll wait to share with you what I have planned to read for the Chosen Blood Readathon. And because I keep yawning, I should just stop this now so you don't have to continue seeing that. So as I read more and have more updates, I will definitely keep you posted. Hold. Hold. Fetch it up. Balloon, what you doing, you silly boy? Do you think it's summertime? Just getting a drink of water? You know you don't have to put your full face in. Alright, so I've got a couple things to update you on, so I'm going to try and be really quick. But first things first, I finished 2 books yesterday. The first one being Immortal Rain by Morgan Road, which is the 6th book in the Fallen Kingdom series. I'm giving this a 3-star rating. It's a high 3-star though, it was almost a 4-star. And I really enjoyed the conclusion to this series. It The pacing of this book was really good compared to kind of the books that are more towards the middle. I enjoyed the character interactions a lot more and just kind of the plot of this story and kind of learning how things wrapped up and where our characters would be by the end. So really enjoyed that. Kind of bittersweet to have this series, and I know I complain a lot about it just being very tropey and predictable, but it's still a really fun series to read through. So I'm glad. I think I started reading this in 2016, so I'm glad to finally have this over and just kind of be able to move into other series that I had ongoing prior to 2020. I had a goal at the beginning of the year to finish 6 of the 12 ongoing series I had. And I've officially hit my goal now with finishing the last book in the Fallen Kingdom series. So I feel really good about that, and it'll be exciting to see how many other series I'm able to finish before the year is out. The other book I finished was Circe by Madeline Miller, which I gave a 4-star rating. I enjoyed this story. Circe is not a Greek figure that I know a lot about. I don't honestly even recall her portion in the Odyssey. So it was nice to kind of have her retelling told. I listened to this through Audible and really enjoyed the narration of it and just the story. The one thing I did have an issue with a little bit was the pacing. Because Circe is immortal, there can be a huge chunk of time in between events, and I don't feel like the transitions were there all the time, where it felt like I would be in one story and learning something, and then it would transition to something else, and it would take me a little bit to realize, like, oh, we're not in this time anymore. So that was a little bit of a miss. I'm not sure if maybe I was listening to, or if I was reading the book physically, if I would have picked up on that. There might have been like the paragraph breaks or something like that to indicate that it was switching gears a little bit, but overall I did really enjoy the story. That was the Books and Planners book club pick for July, so I do need to look at the last section in the book club and make comments and see what everyone else was saying and things like that. It seems like it was a pretty divided response for this book. People either enjoyed it or they didn't. I think a couple people even DNF'd the book. So it'll be interesting to read final thoughts for everyone and just kind of see where I fit in. Today is the start of the Chosen One readathon, which was created by the people who run the Harry Potter and the Order of the Planners, Flourish and Blots Facebook book club group, or I guess Facebook group. It is a book club. It runs from today, the 25th, through the end of July through to the 31st. Obviously for the week of Harry Potter and Neville's, because we can't forget him, birthday. Neville and I share a birthday. I think I've already mentioned that before, but in case you all forgot, Neville and I share a birthday. It's July 30th. So there are 5 reading prompts. You've got a book that mentions Harry Potter, a book that features a magical creature, a book with a character that you think would be in Gryffindor, a green book, and I think for Harry's eyes is what the green book is for, and then a book that features a curse or a love. So today I started listening to The Tattoos of Auschwitz by Heather Morris. I'm almost halfway through. It's a really short audiobook, and I'm using this for the prompt of a book that features a curse or love because the main character, Lale, I think that's how they pronounce it, falls for this woman named Gita, who is also at Auschwitz with him, and just kind of I think this is based on a true couple story that was sent to Auschwitz. But I've heard that the author also takes quite a few liberties in the writing, and I'm not entirely sure what that means exactly. If her depiction of what Lale's life in Auschwitz was like, I think maybe it might be a little more fluffy clouds and rainbows than it probably was. But I'm not 100% certain on that. I think the story is really intriguing, though, just following Lale through Auschwitz and what he's doing to survive and help other people survive and stuff. I have wanted to pick this book up for a while, but I especially wanted to pick it up this month because my former colleague, who actually just left the business only like a week or two ago, he just listened or read this at the beginning of the month, and he really, really enjoyed the book. So I wanted to pick it up not far after him because he's not a big reader. So I wanted to pick it up not far from him. That way it would still be fresh in his mind and we could talk about it. The other books I have planned to read, for a book with a magical creature, these are going to be out of order, but I've got book 2 in the Percy Jackson and the Olympian series, which is The Sea of Monsters. And then I'm going to read book 1, which is The Lightning Thief, for a book with green on the cover. And then the other one, I don't have a book that mentions Harry Potter. I don't think I would be able to read 5 by Friday anyway. So the other book that I plan to read when I'm done with my audiobook of The Tattooist is, The Caged Queen by Kristen Cicerelli, which is book 2 in the Ascari or the Last Namsara series, and that'll be a book with a character I think would be in Gryffindor. Other than that, today has been quite a day. It was supposed to be a work on the car morning. I changed all my spark plugs out, and then we had a little bit of an issue getting things put back together with a broken bolt and a kind of clamped hose. So Skylar is going to put a little bit of money out to get this one part that will hopefully make my car be just fine. But he also did a little research on it, and it seems like a lot of people have experienced this issue before with the same make and model and year, where their car just decided to give up. And I was planning to buy a new car in another year or two anyway. But if this part won't work, it sounds like we're gonna be going car shopping here soon. So thank goodness we're a household that has 3 cars. So I'm gonna be able to drive Skylar's Mazda, trading one Mazda for another Mazda. So fingers crossed. I don't have to buy a car just yet, but we'll see. I also went with my mom. Sorry, this happens every time I turn on the camera. But my mom and I went into town to the craft store to buy some fabric because my neighbor just had her second child last Sunday. So her baby's only 6 days old, and he is the most handsome little guy I've ever seen. And I asked her if they had a registry, but because they have a 5-year-old son, they pretty much kept everything of his. So their new little one gets hand-me-downs, but the one thing they didn't take into consideration was kind of warm, smaller blankets that would fit over the car seat and in the car seat and things like that. So their theme is like farm animals. So I bought 6 different fabrics to make 3 different blankets. So I'm going to show you what those look like really fast. This one is kind of skinny and long. It's the smallest one, but I've got this nice plaid that's got mostly gray with, I think that might be navy. And then on the other side, we've got barns and tractors and cute little critters. I do need to go through and finish the hand seam to close these out, which I'm going to do right now, and then go take him next door. Then the other blanket, one of the other blankets is this blue background with sheep and little birds, and the inside is this light grayish green little checker. And then the last one is this that has a bunch of little farm animals on it and their names and stuff. The one thing that bothers me about this is everything is named except for the pigs. By the pig it says oink, but everything else is cow, chicken, sheep, rabbit, donkey, duck, and then you have oink. And I don't like that. But then I got this blue polka dot fabric for the inside of that. So like I said, just need to close up the little openings there to flip the fabric right side out. I'm going to keep listening to the Tattoos of Auschwitz while I do that. But one more thing, I think I mentioned maybe in my last update that I found out Eric over at the channel Break Even Books and I have our birthdays just 1 week apart, and so we shared our Amazon wish list, and he sent me I think 2 books and I sent him 2 books, but his books aren't gonna arrive until after his birthday, but he's aware of that. But today I got the books that he sent me, so I just want to show you those really quickly. So, oh my gosh, okay. He picked up Well Met by Jen DeLuca. I think there is one, so I think this might be for the other one in there. I'm not sure there is a gift note with this one, but I am really excited about this book. It looks so cute, and I've heard lots of good reviews about it. It's about, I think, a girl who goes to a Renaissance fair for her niece, and there's this guy there who's a teacher, and they don't get along outside of the Renaissance fair, but at the Renaissance fair they've got all like romantical and lovey-dovey and stuff. So I'm really excited to read this. I might have to see if I can put this on my August TBR and switch out a book for my NEWTs. And the other book, I think I know which one this one is. Yeah, okay. It is Just Breathe by Cami McGovern, and the note I believe goes with this one. It says, "Hope you enjoy this one. I read it and really liked it," from Eric. We read, I think our first buddy read together was 5 Feet Apart by Rachel Lippincott, I believe is the author's name, which was a book written based off the screenplay of the movie 5 Feet Apart. And this one also deals with, is it cystic fibrosis? It's not, it can't be that. I can't remember what it's called. It is cystic fibrosis. So I remember Eric reading this, and I had commented, I think, on his Instagram post when he had posted a picture of this, saying it would be interesting to compare this story with 5 Feet Apart. So I'm really looking forward to this as well, especially knowing that Eric enjoyed it also. So I am going to send Eric a little message saying thank you and get back to sewing so that I can get a little baby some blankets. So I'll check in here soon, hopefully. Wild FIFA stalking her prey, lounging in the hydrangeas waiting for the cheese. She's got her eyes locked on in my neighbor's house. So this morning we took the dogs down to the beach with my best friend. We just went on a little walk. Um, it's a park where you park at the top of this hill and walk down. I think it might be about a mile, but I'm not entirely sure on the distance. And then at the bottom is a sandy beach, a little bit of rocks, some shells, some seaweed, all that good stuff. But it's really pretty down there. I think that was actually Aoife's first time at the beach, so she had an absolute ball being off leash and running around like a crazy maniac and attacking her brother and all that good stuff. Ronan's been to the beach before. We've actually taken him out to the coast to Long Beach, and he absolutely loved it. So that was really nice. We did that first thing this morning before it got too hot, because I think it's supposed to be like mid-80s today. And then my mom and I, when we got back, she did her Ancestry DNA test and got her results back the other day. So I went over and we were just talking about her side of the family and her results and things like that. And so I think I might finally build an actual family tree on Ancestry, but I'm not 100% sure. I've got some resources that can help me plug in names and birth dates and relations, like where people are in the family tree and things like that. So I think it'd be really interesting to see, but I'm not 100% sure on that yet. Other than that, I've been listening to more of the Tattooist of Auschwitz. I think I should be able to finish it today. I've got just under 2 hours left, and I've edited this vlog up until this point, so I'm not going to have much more to go. And it's still only like 2:30, I want to say, in the afternoon, so we've still got quite a bit of day left. The story is intriguing from the point of view of a member of the concentration camp who does the tattooing of the numbers on everybody. I think it's an interesting point of view because he is kind of set a little apart in a way from the other members or the other people in the concentration camp, but he is also still a Jewish man who was sent there. So it's interesting to read from that point of view and just what he does in his kind of position of power to help everyone else in the camp with him and stuff. So I'm curious to see how this is going to end, if it's going to have any sort of sad ending or what have you. I mean, I can assume there's going to be some gut-wrenching things that happen at some point before this is over. I read a chapter of Percy Jackson and the Lightning Thief last night, so I definitely need to get going on that a bit more, but I think that'll be a quick read once I get a little way in. It's always just kind of starting books that I'm a little slow going at first. So I think that's it for my updates. Just gonna enjoy the rest of the evening, lounge around with the doggos. They were super tired from our little hike this morning and running around on the beach. And I'm feeling the heat hit me a little bit. I'm getting a little sleepy, so I'm gonna continue editing this video and get it uploaded and then just enjoy my evening. So I hope you enjoyed watching this vlog. Lots of doggy stuff this time. Hope that's okay, but I also feel really good about getting a number of books read. So I think I just checked my Goodreads goal and I'm 13 books ahead of schedule right now, which is absolutely bananas, but I'll take it. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this week's reading vlog, and I would love to know what you read this week or were up to. If you're also enjoying, if you're in the Northern Hemisphere, enjoying some nice summery weather as well, and just what you've been up to. So if you feel so inclined, please do let me know down in the comments below, and I will chat with you there in my next video. Bye!